Hello and welcome to Essential Words for IELTS, the course that will teach you words essential for success on the IELTS test. My name is Charles Cornelius and I'm a professional IELTS tutor. I've been teaching all over the world for 20 years, including at the British Council. And in that time I've helped thousands of students prepare to take the IELTS test. Here is the number one secret to success in the IELTS test. To get a high band score, you need to know lots of words and you need to know how to use them naturally, but most students just don't know enough words. That's why I designed this course, to help people like you learn lots of words quickly and effectively and get a high band score. By the end of the course, you will be able to understand and use words essential for success on the IELTS test. You will be able to understand texts in the reading and listening tests, and you'll be able to use a wider range of vocabulary in the writing and the speaking tests. This means that you will be able to take the IELTS test with confidence and get the IELTS score you need. On this course you will learn a wide range of words in a variety of fun and engaging ways using my unique language learning method used by thousands of students worldwide. You will learn the meanings of each word, how to pronounce each word. You will look at hundreds of example sentences. You will see the most important collocations. That's words that often go together. You will learn the different forms for each word and the most important synonyms for each word. Because I think learning is more fun and effective when you're actually doing something, I have also included lots of quizzes in the course and lots of worksheets which you can use to create your own vocabulary booklet. So, if you are preparing to take or retake the IELTS test and you want to get a band score of 7 or above, then this is the course for you. Thank you so much for your interest in this course. I hope you're as excited as I am, and with our 30-day 100% money-back guarantee, you've got nothing to lose. So, click the Enroll button now and start learning the first of the essential words for the IELTS test. I look forward to seeing you on the course. You have taken a great first step towards getting the band score you need in the IELTS test. Welcome to the course. I'm so excited to have you here. In this video, I'm going to give you some more information about me, and then I'm going to tell you how this course is put together. My name is Charles Cornelius. I am a professional IELTS tutor. I've been teaching for 20 years all over the world, including at the British Council, and I have helped thousands of students to prepare for the IELTS test. I have a master's degree in education and I have a certificate in teaching English, the CELTA. In fact, I got the highest possible grade when I took the course, a Pass A. So this course will help you get a band score of 7 or above on the IELTS test by helping you develop a wider vocabulary. Knowing lots of words is essential to success on the IELTS test. This course will help you to understand words that frequently come up in the IELTS reading and listening tests, and which you can also use in the writing and speaking parts of the test. The main part of the course is the vocabulary video. This is a video presentation. Each vocabulary video is based around a single topic, and in each video I guide you through 7 words and help you to learn each word deeply. Why 7 words? Well, research into learning has shown that 7 is the ideal number of items to learn in one go. It's not too many and it's not too few. It's just right. So in the vocabulary videos, I start off by introducing a word. I explain what it means, and I pronounce the word, I speak it, and you should practice saying the word yourself. Then, I give you some examples of how the word is used. I use real-life sentences to show you exactly how the word is used in English. After this, I show you some different forms of the word, and next, I show you some common collocations of the word. A collocation is words that frequently go together, and this also helps you see how to use the word properly. Finally, I go through some of the most important synonyms of the word. This is vital when doing the reading and listening tests, as questions in the IELTS test often use synonyms of words that you find in the reading and listening texts. Together, all this information will help you develop a deep knowledge and a wide understanding of each word. To help you remember how to use the words, I have included a quiz for each section of the course. In each quiz there are 7 questions, and you just need to fill in the blank space with the correct word. I've also included lots of bonus resources on this course, and you can get these resources while you're actually watching the videos. For example, you can download the lecture, you can download the video to your own computer. You can also see here resources available. There are resources available for each video. To get them, click on the dashboard, and you can download them simply by clicking on the PDF link, and they will go down and download to your computer. One of these resources is the vocabulary booklet. There is one vocabulary booklet for each video, and you can download and print out these vocabulary booklets. Let me show you how to use it. You complete it, first of all, by writing a translation of the word into your own language. Then you can draw a picture to help you remember the meaning of the word, and then you can write your own sentence that uses the word. If you do all parts of the course, then you will learn to understand and use these essential words for the IELTS test, and you'll get the band score you need. Thanks so much for watching. Let's get started with the course. In this lecture, we're going to look at 7 words connected with animals. And here are the 7 words: amphibian, carnivore, herbivore, omnivore, predator, prey, parasite. And the first word is amphibian. Amphibian. Notice the stress on the middle syllable, amphib. Amphibian. They're animals such as frogs and toads that can live both on land and in water as well. So, for example, alligators did not evolve from amphibians. The pond teemed with all manner of amphibious animals. Amphibians feature prominently in ancient legends, such as the frog. So an amphibian swims, an amphibian lives. You can have an amphibious animal. Amphibious is the adjective. Amphibious creature. So here's the word amphibian. Amphibious, the adjective. There aren't really any synonyms for amphibians, so here I'll just show you examples of amphibians. There's a frog, a toad, also salamander. A salamander is an amphibian. Carnivore. A carnivore is an animal that eats meat. Just meat. Carnivore. From the Latin word for meat, which is carne. Carne means meat. So, for example, the researchers conclude that carnivores should not be kept in captivity. A herbivore and a carnivore may share the same habitat, but their feeding patterns keep them separate. Lions are the great carnivores of the African savanna. Some common collocations: carnivores and herbivores, carnivorous animal, carnivorous mammal, carnivorous species. So carnivore, plural of course, is carnivores. And there's the adjective carnivorous, carnivorous. So carnivore synonyms: meat eater, predator. A carnivore is often a predator as well. Beast of prey, slightly old-fashioned phrase though. Herbivore, herbivore. A herbivore is an animal that only eats plants, such as the elephant. And it comes from the Latin word for plant, which is herb. Herb. Not herb, by the way, you pronounce the H in the word herbivore. For example, the stomach of a herbivore has several chambers. The teeth of herbivores are quite different to those of carnivores. Elephants are herbivorous animals. So carnivore and herbivore again. Herbivorous creature. There's the adjective herbivorous animal, herbivorous species. And there's the plural form of the word and the adjective herbivorous. So some synonyms for herbivore: plant eater, vegetarian, and these two words, browsers and grazers. Grazers feed on grass and low-lying plants. Browsers feed on leaves and fruit of higher growing plants and shrubs. Omnivore, omnivore. An omnivore eats both meat and plants, such as the fox. And again, it comes from the Latin. Omni is Latin for all, so they eat everything. For example, it was a tree-dwelling omnivore that resembled a cat. These teeth replaced those of herbivores and omnivores. Human beings are an example of an omnivorous creature, so humans are omnivores. Omnivorous, omnivorous. No synonyms that I can think of for omnivorous, so let's go to the next word: predator. Predator. A predator is an animal that kills and eats other animals, such as the birds of prey. The mites were in turn eaten by other arachnid predators. Farmers are using natural predators to protect their crops. The predatory behaviour of foxes is extremely sophisticated. So we often talk about predator and prey, or a natural predator, or a predator attacks, and you need to escape a predator. So the plural of predator is predators, and predatory. Predatory is the adjective. Prey. Prey. So an animal's prey are the creatures that it hunts and eats. If you are prey, you get hunted and you get eaten, such as the mouse. The mouse is the prey of lots of different animals. It's very tasty. Electric eels stun their prey with huge electrical discharges. These animals are the prey of hyenas. They prey on small insects. So here that you use the word prey is used as a verb. They prey.
You prey on, prey upon, and you can be the prey of something. Birds of prey is another common collocation. There is no plural form of prey. It's an uncountable noun, but you can use it as a verb, preying, preyed. And some synonyms. Quarry, quarry. Game, hunted, so the hunted. Victim. And your next word, parasite. Parasite. A parasite is a small animal or even a plant that lives on or inside a larger animal or plant, and it gets food from it to live. So here you've got an insect, that's a parasite. I think it's a mosquito. It's certainly a parasite of some kind, trying to get some blood, so it's living on other animals. He tested positive for intestinal parasites, so he had parasites in his intestine. The infection is caused by a tiny parasite which can affect humans and pets. Global warming may cause the spread of tropical parasitic diseases. So some common collocations: a malarial parasite, a microscopic parasite, and a parasite infects, and you can carry a parasite. So the plural of parasites, parasites. And to turn it into an adjective, there you go, parasitic. So parasite, parasitic. So there are your 7 words for animals: amphibian, carnivore, herbivore, omnivore, predator, prey, parasite. In this lecture, we're going to look at some vocabulary for describing changes. And here are the 7 words: acclimatise, merge, restore, amend, deviate, distort, divert. And your first word is acclimatise. Acclimatise. So we use the word acclimatise for when you get used to a new situation. And it's often used with climate and weather, but also more widely. So for example, here's a mountaineer and she's going to climb a mountain, but high in the mountains the air is very thin. There isn't much oxygen. It's very difficult to breathe, so she must first get used to the thin air, and she must therefore spend a few days in the mountains before she climbs, getting used to the thin air, getting acclimatized to the thin air. So she's getting used to the climate in the mountains. She's acclimatizing to the climate, basically. Climate is in the middle of the word acclimatize, without the E, of course. Acclimatize. The Z sometimes is spelled S. The ISE ending is quite common in British English, and the IZE ending is more common in American English, but they're both correct. For example, allow time for your body to acclimatise to the high altitude. Take a few days to acclimatise to the new time zone. And I'm sure that we will acclimatise very quickly to the new economic situation. So the third sentence is a more general use of acclimatise. This is a very common collocation. You acclimatise to something. So here is a verb: acclimatises, acclimatising, acclimatised. And acclimatisation is the process. It's a noun, the process of acclimatising. Some synonyms: get used or get used to, conform, adapt, and adjust. Adjust. Here's your next word, merge. Merge. If one thing merges with another, they come together. They combine to make one whole thing. So here, 3 roads merge to become 1 road. And it's the same with rivers. 2 rivers merge to become 1 river. Also, you can have the same with companies, with business. If 2 businesses merge, they form a new company. So here is an example of that, in fact. The Bank of America merged with Merrill Lynch. Modern and traditional architectural elements merge in a clever way. So here you've got styles merging. We often use these 2 words together, merge with, merge into, merge together. And as a verb, you can have merges, merging, merged, and a noun, merger. Merger. You can also emerge from something by putting the E in front. So if you come out of a crowd and show yourself, you emerge from the crowd. You can also have unmerge. This is when 2 things separate. So maybe 2 companies unmerge. Some synonyms: amalgamate, join, blend, styles blend a lot, combine, unite. And your next word is restore. Restore. If you restore something, you make it exist again. So in England, in 1649, we got rid of the monarchy. So there was no king. But 11 years later, in 1660, we decided that we wanted the monarchy back. So we had a king again. So the monarchy was restored. We restored the monarchy. The army was brought in to restore order. The death penalty was restored. The new government restored confidence in the economy. And we restore confidence. Restore order, that's a common collocation. Restore peace. Restore democracy. Note the pronunciation of restore, not restore, but restore. And as a verb, you can have restores, restoring, restored. And the noun form is restoration. So you can have the restoration of the monarchy in England in 1660. You can bring back, that's a synonym, bring back, reinstate, re-establish, put back, rebuild, recover. And the next word is amend. Amend. So if you amend something, you change it, usually in a small way, and usually for the better. We often amend written documents, legal documents, constitutions, for example. The President agreed to amend the Constitution. Parliament may amend the proposed tax bill. We reserve the right to amend the terms and conditions. So we often amend a plan, amend a law, amend legislation, amend the Constitution. And it's a verb, so you can have amends, amending, amended, and the noun form is amendment, amendment. And some synonyms: alter, enhance, change, modify, correct. And here's the next word, deviate. Deviate. If you deviate from something, you start doing something differently or unplanned, and especially in a way that causes problems for others. In the middle of the word deviate is via. which is a Latin word which means way. So if you devia, it means you go from the way, you leave the way. So if you deviate, you go from the normal way of doing things. They stopped you as soon as you deviated from the script. Sub-Saharan Africa has wage levels that deviate significantly from international norms. So it's not normal. Galileo's ideas deviated markedly from those of his time. So you deviate from things, you can deviate significantly and markedly, or slightly. And it's a verb as well, so deviates, deviating, deviated. And the noun is a deviation, deviation. And some synonyms: veer, vary, differ, diverge, depart. And your next word, distort, distort. If you distort an object, you pull it so that it's out of shape, but you can also distort facts and ideas. So if you distort facts or ideas, you report these facts and ideas in an untrue way. You distort the facts. So, for example, the media distorts reality by showing people as all good or all bad. They're distorting reality. There are allegations that the government distorted scientific findings to justify its policies. So you can distort the truth, distort reality, distort competition, distort something, distort things by doing things, by lying sometimes. And as a verb, distorts, distorting, distorted. And the noun form is distortion, distortion. Some synonyms for distort: misrepresent, twist, warp, pervert, alter. And your next word, divert. Divert. If you divert something, you make it follow a different direction. So, for example, here's a plane. It was flying from Vladivostok to Moscow when it developed a fault. Oh no, so it needed to land. So it diverted to Novosibirsk and landed there instead. So the plane diverted to Novosibirsk. Here's some more examples. The project diverted water to the drought-prone areas. During the strike, we will divert ambulances to private hospitals. So you can divert something from or divert something to. You can divert attention. We often divert people's attention. Divert resources. And as a verb, diverts, diverting, diverted. And the noun form, watch what happens to the T. It goes away, diversion. Diversion uses an S. And some synonyms for divert: redirect, switch, pivot, deflect. So there are your 7 changes words: acclimatise, merge, restore, amend, deviate, distort, and divert.